Welcome, everyone. I am here with Emilio from T.TAiO, which makes a bunch of different personal care products under several brands. And we're going to talk about how they're leveraging TikTok to drive in-store sales. And they're doing a lot of cool things on the platform. So, Emilio, thanks so much for joining us. And before we get into the TikTok stuff, give everybody an overview of the different brands and products that you have that you're showcasing.
Absolutely, Joe. Thank you so much. Thanks for inviting me. Yes, Industrias T.TAiO. T.TAiO is the name of the company, basically slang for I scrub you. We've been manufacturing scrubbers since 1985. And the reason why we got into it, real quick, it's a fun fact, but it's true. Back in 85 in Mexico, there was a big earthquake. My dad and my brothers used to manufacture kids' clothing.
Mhm.
And the two buildings that my family had collapsed. And they were able, from one of the buildings, to take up sew machines. And they were kind of like socks machines. And when they turned it on, it became like, they said, this is not a sock, this looks like a scrubber.
Huh.
So kind of like if life gives you lemon, you
Yeah.
do lemonade, the same thing. They said, let's do scrubbers. This is what we have now. One product, which was a back scrubber, turned into two, turned into five. Fast forward 30 years over, we have over 600 employees. We have 7 different facilities. We manufacture over 600 SKUs. Personal care is our kind of like our core, but we do soaps, we do car sponges, household sponges, personal care loofahs, sponges, even mattresses and pillows. So that's what we have done. In Mexico, we have been very strong, sales everywhere from drug to mass. And then here in the United States, 20 years ago, I decided to move up here. And I started creating different type of brands for different market segments. So we have After Spa, which is our opening price point brand, personal care, kind of like everything from wellness to like personal bathing. Then we have Daily Concept, which is our luxury, kind of like premium innovative brand. Now we turn it into more circular and basically kind of like organic and everything that has to do with nature. And then our most viral product, which is Esponjabon, which is a soap with a sponge inside. And this has been kind of like driving us crazy for the last few years. Back in 2020, a girl from Orange County traveled to Mexico. She bought the product in Farmacias Guadalajara. She came back and she did a TikTok saying, this thing cleared my acne from the masks. This thing is fantastic. You need to go get it. And that was like, made us take off.
Wow. Well, what's cool is how it's evolved. Like you still have that concept of a scrubbing, squishy, absorbent thing that kind of permeates through the different lines, and just how it's one led to another, to another, to another. And then I could personally vouch for this soap. Couple of reasons. Here's my video on it. One, it's got a really tactile feel to it. It's almost what I was telling Emilio is it's almost like the feel of a fidget spinner. Like I can't stop squeezing the bar. And then when you use it, there is the scrubbing capabilities, and because it's the sponge capabilities, it does really clean. It's good at cleaning a lot off of you. But also when you use it, there's this just sensory thing of squeezing it that you just can't stop. Yeah. So it's fidget spinner like in that sense. So, and then the lavender one just really smells amazing. So I'm using it here at my hotel at the ECRM sessions. So just wanted to give a little my perspective on it, but I could see why it went viral. So now speaking of virality and social media, so you've been coming to our sessions for 20 years.
Yeah.
And so pre-social media, but so now you're leveraging TikTok. What are some of the things you're doing in TikTok now? Just an overview.
So, I mean, I guess that after that first video went viral from this lady, we started noticing that people were going to the stores, buying the product. Yes, we had a website, we had a complete, functional direct-to-consumer site, but people wanted to go get it at the stores. And we were lucky enough at the moment, exactly, we were in CVS pharmacy. And it got to a point that people were going to the CVS stores and they were limiting the consumers only to get 3 pieces.
Wow.
So it was just crazy. And we were like, we could not keep it up. The facility started producing like 40,000 pieces per week. And we got into a point to making 200,000 pieces a day to keep up with the demand.
Wow.
So when we started seeing that people were actually, talking about it on TikTok, and it was not only this girl anymore, it was like thousands of people going to the stores, buying the mother of pearl functional soap and saying like, okay, this is brightening, this is clarifying, it helped me with acne, it helped me with this, it helped me with that. We didn't know that it was such a big deal, we created the product 25 years ago, but we never thought that it was going to be so big. So what we needed to do is keep it up because, now we started to get more into retailers. And the next big one was Walmart. So we said, how are we going to be able to keep it up? I mean, yes, it went organically viral. So we needed to figure out a way of driving consumers into the actual retailer store, whoever retailer was, and just to kind of replicate what had happened organically.
Yeah, put a little gas on
yes,
it.
Yes. It's not been easy, but we kind of figure out a strategy. We have, this is our secret sauce. Like first, you have to have an innovative product.
So you got that already?
Yes.
Check.
It needs to work. Like you cannot just like, oh, this is a miracle product. It really needs to work. And the second thing is like you need to really study your market. You need to understand who your demographic is, and then you need to find the right influencers for it. So that's a fun part. It's not easy, but you need to really tap into it. It doesn't have to be the biggest celebrity. It needs to be someone that, in this case, someone that like really is talking about beauty, is talking about wellness, is talking about skincare, and then you just have to like plant the seed.
Okay. So now you said there's two different groups. Like you do work with affiliates, which I think is a great way to do it because they only get paid if their content moves your stuff.
Correct.
Right. So how are you working with affiliates? And then we'll get into the organic.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, TikTok Shop has that opportunity to work with affiliates. They create a wonderful program where actually you sample the products. And the affiliates, well, they use the product, they talk about it on TikTok, and they start recommending the product. So if they like are able to make sales out of those videos that they created with your product, then they get a cut.
Okay.
And it makes sense. So it's a pyramid.
So the affiliate is not you going after them. It's just they doing it on their
Correct.
own.
So they choose the item.
Okay. They choose the item. Okay. And then, but you could also go after people.
Correct.
Okay. And do it. So, and then you've done some TikToks yourself.
Well,
right?
I mean, it's fun. I mean, I'm not going to lie. The moment that video became viral, I started kind of like doing my own videos, and some of mine like hit 6 million views. And it was like, okay, then I'm probably doing something right. And people like wanted to see what I was talking about. So I decided to actually go to the retailers and activate the retailers. Like, for example, I went to Hungary. We landed Rossmann in Hungary, and I traveled all the way to Budapest. And I went to several different stores, and I wanted to see the product live and talk about my journey of going into Budapest, going into Hungary, and buying the product, or what is the experience, where is going to be sitting in the shelf. And I think that it's real because I'm sharing with everyone where the product that we created is being sold, and people seem to like.
So what did you do? What did you actually do on TikTok when you went to Budapest?
So, I mean, the first moment I started recording myself at the airport with my suitcase and with my boarding pass, and then on the plane, and then landed on the airport. And I was, of course, kind of like recording the whole journey of getting from Los Angeles all the way to Budapest, which I had to have a layover in Paris. So, I documented that, and like people were following on it.
Okay, and then once you got into the stores, what were you doing?
So first I didn't know where it was placed. I mean, the distributor from Hungary said, yeah, it is in Rossmann, and it's pretty much in all chain wide, but you needed to go find where the Rossmanns are. So I kind of I used ChatGPT to create a route of all different Rossmanns. And I set my day completely of walking. I didn't want to take any cars. So I walked from my hotel to the first Rossmann. I found where he was at the store. Of course, I recorded. I was super excited. And then, I actually bought a couple of products because I wanted to share it. I was so excited that it was almost sold out. So I took the last two pieces that I found on the shelf, and I gifted out to there was someone outside, asking whatever. It was a homeless person. And I said, you know what? Here's this for you.
Okay.
And it was exciting.
Yeah.
So then after that, I went to all the different Rossmann stores, and I was trying to look for the product. So that was a journey. I did, I think, 12 12 Rossmann-Doors. I got to know the city. I was surprised to like walking the streets of Budapest. And then at the end of the day, I left.
And that you made into one video?
Yes.
And that's the one that got 6
Yes.
And I think because it was so authentic. It was you excited, genuinely excited, doing the trip, seeing what's going on. And I think that's the stuff that really resonates is people know it's not overproduced. It's not, you were just being you, checking out your stuff.
And I think that's what it's important about TikTok and social media these days. I mean, yeah, there's so many things that could be real, could not be real, but I think that in social media, especially in TikTok, it's real.
Yeah, and what's really cool is a lot of people think, sure, these newer brands are using TikTok, but you're more established. Here, 20 years, you were doing things before TikTok, and now you're getting engaged on it and having a lot of success, like the other brands, like the younger, newer brands too.
Sure. I mean, it is important, of course, not only to support the retailer by driving consumers to the retailer. Of course, you need to perform. And you need to perform at store level. So your price needs to be right. Your packaging needs to be right. We just did a facelift on the packaging.
This is beautiful. The color scheme on these, it's really, really beautiful. And if you look at on the side, because when at their meeting space here, they have all the colors lined up, and it makes a nice block of color. And then just the packaging itself, you got a little window there, so you could kind of see the texture. So it's just really nice pop.
Thank you. I mean, it took us 2 years to redesign this thing and just make it right. And I'm sure that we're not right. I'm sure that there's a lot of room for improvement, but people seem to like this. It's very colorful. It pops. And actually it's telling the story of the brand. And although it has a cultural roots with the name Esponjabón, which literally means soap and sponge, I think it has a universal love.
Yeah, Esponjabón.
Yes.
I've been working on pronouncing that. The other thing is it's very TikTokable, right? It's, if that's a word. It's the colors are great on social media, right? Here's another bright green. But then also the smell, like there's a lot for a user to talk about with this. So it kind of lends itself to social media platforms. And I know it smells amazing. The room smells amazing now. I know you've had a lot of user-generated content that's not sponsored, that you had nothing to do with. Tell us a little bit about that. And also, once you find it, how do you incorporate that into your digital?
I think that, the fact that there's not just a regular bar of soap with a sponge inside, which that makes it already unique. It also has a function, right? So like the pink one that you were showing, this pink one has hyaluronic acid or the mother of pearl or salicylic acid. So when we start posting on social media and that user seems that it worked for somebody else and they see the results. So organically, they go get it and they started using them themselves and they swear by it and then they just start posting on it. So that has been organic. Sometimes when we see that someone has like really a lot of success, then we contact that influencer directly. And of course, we incentivize them to continue doing what they did. Not gonna lie, there's nothing wrong with it.
You already found that they organically liked it.
Correct.
So it's not like they're liking it just because you're giving them product or whatever.
Correct. And like if there's a way to like monetize ourselves and help them with some incentive, like monetary incentive, then they allow us to use that video and we kind of like boost it.
Okay. And then do you tie the retailer in?
Of course.
Depending on where that person is, or how do you
Absolutely.
work that in?
Well, like if somebody bought it in HEB and they talk about it that they bought it in HEB, of course, we're going to tag HEB.
Gotcha.
If somebody bought it in Walgreens Puerto Rico and they're from Puerto Rico, we're going to tag Walgreens Puerto Rico or Walmart or whoever that might be.
Yeah. So now, is it you doing the TikTok or are you working with other people? How are you managing that?
So we do that in-house. We have our content creator and brand ambassador, and her name is Amanda. She works directly in our offices. She handles all the different platforms for influencers.
Okay.
She kind of like, she has her own way of finding who the right group of influencers should be. And then from there, kind of like it all goes to the different areas of social media. And then she just handles to manage that.
Gotcha. So she's kind of sourcing the right people and all that. but you're also posting yourself and getting
Of course,
involved.
and she does
you roll
herself
up your
too.
sleeves and she does.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We like it's amazing because whenever also we find a new retailer,
Mhm.
she goes to the stores and she does her own thing, and she's very creative.
Mhm.
Of course, she's a younger artist. She's a user of the brand.
Yeah, okay.
And
That's
like
important. Yeah.
yes, that reflects to
Mhm.
the consumer, of course.
That authenticity is really important, because if you're, you can just tell, like, if an influencer is just getting paid to do something, that kind of is obvious. They don't have that same passion, and it's not long lasting,
No, it's not.
because they move on to the next product that's paying them and all that. But if you have someone, I like the fact that you find someone who posts about it that's already excited about it, and then you just kind of boost them a
Yeah,
little
we
bit.
build into that. And believe it or not, when we find other influencers that have not found the product and we're activating in a market, they send us their videos and we approve the videos.
Okay.
And many times we say, like, this doesn't look authentic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's totally fine. We don't have a perfect product. There's people that don't like it, that people that it doesn't work for them.
Yeah.
And it's totally okay. So when we see that an influencer, like, it's really not resonating with the brand, we say, you know what, it's okay. We'll give you your share, but we don't have to post your video.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
Simple.
Yeah, and that's a great way to go about it, because you want it to be in line. You want it to be aligned with your brand. Now, do you use other social media platforms as well?
Well, we started now getting more into Meta.
Okay.
I mean, like, let's not keep all your eggs in one basket, right?
Yeah.
So I think that, I mean, there's the ones who really love Instagram, for example, the Reels, and there's people who love TikTok and swear by it, and there's people that like the YouTube Shorts, and there's people that like Reddit.
Yeah.
You know, so it doesn't matter. I mean, I think that every single kind of like niche of social media has its own following. So we're just trying to expand into where we see that our consumers are looking.
Got to play where the audience is. Yeah, excellent. So now you've been, well, here, before we get into your ECRM experience, what were you doing before social media? How did you get the equivalent? Yeah.
Back in the day, well, we did a lot of in-store kind of like merchandising and promoting the products, and
so
kind
you're
of like
always
testing.
a fan of something related to the stores.
Absolutely. I think, like, you know, many people say, well, retail is dead. It's only online. I don't think so. I think retail will always exist. And I think that the way to innovate in retail, that's where it keeps the shoppers going and buying there. So we always have to think outside of the box, and maybe whether it's testers, whether it's people sampling the product, whether it's promotions, we believe in like, you know, traditional marketing as well.
So I think that's a good point that you brought up, is that, like, what you're doing on TikTok and other social media platforms to drive people into the store where your products are, is just really an evolution of what you were already doing in person, like having sampling and activations and stuff like that.
Correct.
It's just the next, it's still the same concept, different platform.
Absolutely. And I think that the best advertising that you can get is someone talking about your product. Like that. That's it.
We get I mean, that's the most powerful way, because you can have all the data in the world, but if your best friend says, hey, this is awesome, you're going to try it, no matter what.
But that has been forever. I mean, it's nothing new.
Yep. Even before computers at all, that's the way it was. So now you've been to how many ECRMs?
Says 25.
25 sessions over the years. What is your experience like? What are some, wins that you've had that started from meetings?
I mean, definitely when I did my first ECRM, I didn't know exactly what I was doing. I'm completely honest. Maybe it took me like 3 ECRMs to really get the hang of it.
Well, you get better at them the more you do.
Sure. Yeah. So, like, understanding your pitch, understanding the time, understanding that, all the retailers like have several meetings, understanding the follow-up, understanding your product. I think that has been kind of like evolving throughout the years. Doing your homework, knowing who you're going to meet. If it's a fit, if it's not a fit, then you don't want to waste anybody's time. How to stand out after following up, on like, people are going to receive hundreds of emails. So how yours is going to suck up from all the rest? And buyers are busy. I mean, you don't want to take too much of their time. So understanding all of that, I think it took me like 25 sessions, and I'm still learning.
But you have had a lot of success from it. Too.
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
you keep coming back.
It's
Yeah.
definitely like
Yeah.
it is
Open doors.
effective. I don't remember what it was before EPPS,
Oh, I don't know.
but it was like effective program sessions, something
We
like
keep
that.
changing
Yeah.
what the
But-
acronym means.
Correct. But to me, it was like, yes, you're taking 10, 20 minutes, whatever time you have
Mhm.
on meetings. It's already, they're preset.
Mhm.
Everything, honestly, you guys have everything well organized since day one. And I think it's state of the art how you guys like make this happen. You are like gypsies traveling all over the world. Sometimes we go with you.
Yep.
And the logistics of it, I think it just works. It's just an effective show.
What are your thoughts, right? Because you keep coming back. There's a value. What do you think the value is of coming back again and again and seeing these retailers in person?
Well, first, you get to see them all at once. If you would be traveling all over, and even though you can be virtual right now, but this is where you get their attention in one same spot. You get to also know them on a personal level. Many of the times we're having breakfast, we're having lunch, we're having dinner with them. So we're having a couple of drinks with them. So you get to know also the person that is behind, that retailer, that distributor, and also makes you understand like how the business works. So that gives you an advantage of how to move forward, who you should use as a distributor, like what are the rules of doing business with them.
That's great, and that's the most important part, is that relationship building for the long-term success. And you definitely get involved in everything. So he was on the second place team in the store tour. We had a store tour bingo competition. So which was your team was called what?
The Super Beauty.
Super Beauty. And they're the ones I did post a cool picture from it. How was that experience? Because you had a ball, right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we signed up the minute that we saw that there was an event like that. We wanted to learn, and I mean, it's a great way of not only getting to know people, but it's fun. I see it like an icebreaker. We just got here. Like people who are still like, I don't know what's going on, and then you just right there, you just go meet people, go do this type of activities. It was fun. You
guys were competitive. Yeah. Every group was really competitive. So they had to take we had bingo cards. There were teams of like 4 or 5 people, and everybody got a bingo card. And the bingo card had different concepts that would be either in the store or on a product. And the teams had to find those concepts and then take a selfie with the group in front of that concept. And then once you got, I think you had to go at least one from each of the 3 stores.
Correct.
And then whoever, I think it was based on the speed, whoever got it done fastest and the creativity of their photos. And what I loved is watching how competitive you guys were when you did it. And then we got barraged with photos. So, and Emily did a great job of putting that together.
Yeah, I think that poor like store employees, they were freaking out. All these associates, like, 20 people just got into the store and started taking pictures from everything, and it was fun.
But they got a kick out of it. One of them was like, "What are you doing?" "Oh, scavenger hunt." They're like, "Oh, so cool." Yeah. So, but yeah, it's a lot of people, but they did get some sales out of it.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. So, listen. Any advice that you would have for like somebody considering eCRM? What advice would you give them?
I mean, in fact, one of the of my group on the Super Beauty team, they were just their first eCRM, and I told them the same advice. I said, like, do your homework. Make sure that you know what you're selling. Try to be innovative. Try people for them to remember you, and follow up. I think that's a key. Don't miss any of the you guys events. Like if you are trying to do any type of outs, like we went to the House of Blues yesterday. Don't miss any of those. Don't miss any of the social events, because that's where it's at. That's where the beauty comes.
That's a great way to wrap this up. So great advice. Thank you so much. I love what you're doing. And it was great I got to spend more time with you during this.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it.
Thanks again.
All right.